The marble foyer of Sterling Manor echoed with my brother Michael's condescending laugh as he watched me drag my suitcase across the floor. The mansion, once the crown jewel of our family's legacy, now showed subtle signs of decay, hairline cracks in the ceiling, worn carpet on the grand staircase, dulled crystal in the chandeliers. "The maids' quarters are upstairs," Michael smirked, adjusting his Rolex. "Though honestly, it's too good for someone who couldn't even keep Dad's investment firm running." I kept my expression neutral, though my phone buzzed knowingly in my pocket. "The guest room is fine, Michael." "Guest room?" He laughed. No. We need those for actual important people. You get the old maid's quarters. Mom's orders. Speaking of Mom, Victoria Sterling swept into the foyer in her fading designer dress, pearls gleaming against her neck. "Amanda darling, you're late. The bank meeting is in an hour." "The bus was delayed," I said, knowing how the words would sting them. "A bus." Michael's wife Jessica appeared, designer heels clicking on marble. "Oh, how quaint. Remember when you used to run the investment division, Amanda? Town cars, private jets." She smiled sweetly. "Before you lost everything. They only knew." My phone buzzed again. Probably another update from my lawyer about the property transfer. The irony of their disdain wasn't lost on me. "The bank's threatening foreclosure," Mom sighed, studying her manicure. "After 30 years we might lose Sterling Manor. No thanks to your disastrous decisions with the company." What they didn't know, what they'd never bothered to investigate, was that those disastrous decisions had been carefully orchestrated. Every failed investment, every lost client had been quietly transferred to my new firm, built right under their noses. "Such a shame," Michael continued. "Dad would be so disappointed. His golden child reduced to taking the bus." I climbed the servants' staircase to the tiny room they'd assigned me, its window overlooking the once immaculate gardens. My phone lit up with the message I'd been waiting for: "Property transfer complete. Sterling Manor is now officially yours through Shell Corporation B. Bank meeting cancelled." The dust in the room didn't bother me. By tomorrow everything would change. I'd spent 5 years building my empire in secret, watching them run Dad's legacy into the ground with their extravagance and arrogance. Now, as they faced bankruptcy, they had no idea they were standing in my house. A knock at the door. "Amanda," Mom called out. "The bank wants all family members present. Do try to look presentable, if that's still possible in your situation." "I'll be right down," I replied, changing into a simple blazer and skirt. No designer labels, no flashy jewelry. Nothing to hint at the truth. My phone buzzed one final time. "All paperwork filed. You are now their landlord." I smiled, tucking the phone away. Let them enjoy their superiority for a few more hours. Tomorrow they'd learn what real power looks like. Another text flashed on my screen from my executive assistant. "Forbes interview confirmed for tomorrow. Your net worth evaluation, $2.8 billion. I heard the mansion's front door open, followed by voices. The bank representatives had arrived early. "Perfect. Amanda." Mom's voice carried up the stairs. "Get down here. And please tell me you have something better to wear than that." I took one last look around the dusty room, remembering how they'd stripped me of my company office 5 years ago. "Time to go home," Michael had sneered then, dumping my personal items in a cardboard box. Let the real businesspeople handle things. The real businesspeople who'd driven Dad's company into the ground with their parties, their vanity projects, and their complete lack of financial sense. Who'd mortgaged this mansion 3 times over to maintain their lifestyle. Walking down the servants' stairs, I passed the family photos. Mom and Dad at charity galas, Michael at his graduation, the day he saved the company by pushing me out. My pictures had been removed years ago. In the grand living room, 2 bank representatives sat stiffly on antique furniture. Michael paced, his confident facade cracking. Mom's hands shook as she poured tea into Wedgwood cups that would soon be mine. "Ah, Amanda," the senior bank representative, Mr. Harrison, nodded at me. "Perhaps you should stay for this discussion. It concerns the entire family." "She's not really involved anymore," Michael cut in quickly. "Just visiting. Temporarily." My phone buzzed again. "Private security team in position. Moving trucks ready for tomorrow." "Actually," I said quietly, taking a seat, "I think I should definitely stay for this." Mom shot me a warning look. Amanda, dear, surely you have job hunting to do? I smiled, thinking of my corner office in the city's tallest skyscraper. No, Mom. I think I'm exactly where I need to be. The grandfather clock struck 3. In exactly 24 hours, they'd learn what I'd done with Dad's failed investment strategies. How I'd built an empire while they weren't watching. And most importantly, how I now owned every square inch of the roof over their heads. As you know, Mr. Harrison began, adjusting his tie, Sterling Manor's third mortgage payment is significantly overdue. The bank has no choice but to. One moment, interrupted a crisp voice from the doorway. My attorney, Sarah Chin, strode in, briefcase in hand. I believe this meeting is unnecessary. Michael jumped up. Who are you? This is a private family matter. Sarah Chin, representing the new owner of Sterling Manor. She placed her briefcase on the antique coffee table Mom always bragged about. All mortgage obligations have been satisfied. Mom's teacup clattered against its saucer. New owner. I watched their faces as Sarah withdrew the documents. 5 years of their condescension, their mockery, their superiority, all about to crumble. The property was purchased by Phoenix Global Investments, Sarah continued. All existing liens have been cleared. Phoenix Global? Michael laughed nervously. Never heard of them. You wouldn't have, I said quietly, standing up. We prefer to operate discreetly. The room fell silent. Mom's face went pale as understanding dawned. No, Michael whispered. You lost everything. The company. Lost. I smiled, taking the documents from Sarah. I didn't lose anything, Michael. I built something better. Those clients you thought disappeared? They followed me. Those failed investments? They flourished under a different name. Mr. Harrison cleared his throat. Miss Sterling has indeed satisfied all outstanding debts on the property. The mansion legally belongs to her corporation now. But where did you get that kind of money? Mom stammered. I nodded to Sarah, who opened her laptop. The screen displayed Phoenix Global's portfolio. Luxury properties across 3 continents, technology ventures, sustainable energy projects. Total value, $2.8 billion. Remember Dad's outdated investment strategies? I asked, watching Michael sink into his chair. The ones you called worthless when you took over? I used them. Built on them. While you were mortgaging this house to buy boats and fund vanity projects, I was creating an empire. Jessica, who'd been unusually quiet, found her voice. So what happens now? Now. I pressed a button on my phone. The front door opened and my executive team walked in. Now we discuss your tenancy agreements. Tenancy? Michael exploded. This is our home. Was your home, I corrected. You'll be allowed to stay, with conditions. No more parties. No more wasteful spending. You'll maintain regular employment and pay fair market rent. Mom's hands trembled. You can't be serious. The servants' quarters are quite comfortable, I said, echoing their earlier words. Though you might prefer the efficiency apartments I've arranged in the city. Your choice. Your office is ready upstairs, Miss Sterling, my assistant announced, entering with a team of contractors. We can begin renovations immediately. I watched my family's faces as their world shifted. The antique furniture they'd used to impress guests, the artwork they'd bragged about, the crystal they'd lorded over others. All mine now. You have 24 hours to decide, I said, gathering my papers. Stay and follow the new rules, or leave with your personal belongings only. Everything else belongs to Phoenix Global now. Amanda, Mom whispered, we're your family. Family. I turned back. Family doesn't banish members to servants' quarters. Family doesn't mock struggle or celebrate failure. You stopped being family the day you chose status over substance. The contractors began their measurements as I climbed the main staircase. No more servants' stairs for me. Oh, and Michael, that Rolex you're wearing? Dad gave that to me when I made my first million. I'll expect it back by morning. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the mansion's freshly cleaned windows. Construction crews moved efficiently through the halls, removing the gaudy decorations my family had added over the years. In the foyer, Michael's prized bronze stallion statue was being carefully crated. Its sale would fund new computers for the charitable foundation I was establishing. Mom appeared in her silk robe, looking lost without her usual morning mimosa. The staff, they won't serve breakfast. The staff works for me now, I replied, reviewing renovation plans with my project manager. And they're busy with actual work, not catering to your whims. Jessica stumbled down the stairs, mascara smeared. Our closets are empty. Designer items have been inventoried and will be auctioned, my assistant explained crisply. The proceeds will cover your outstanding debts to various boutiques. Michael emerged last, his hand bare where the Rolex had been. This is cruel, Amanda. We're your family. I set down my tablet. Cruel? Let's talk about cruelty, shall we? I gestured for them to follow me into what was once Dad's study, now my office. The family portraits had been replaced with maps showing Phoenix Global's worldwide investments. 5 years ago you held an emergency board meeting while I was at Dad's funeral, I said, taking the seat behind his desk. You convinced the board I was too emotional to lead. Remember that, Michael? He shifted uncomfortably. It was business. No, it was betrayal. Mom, you seconded his motion. Said I lacked the necessary qualities to run a company. We were trying to protect the family legacy, she protested weakly. The legacy you mortgaged to buy yachts and fund failed passion projects? I pulled up their spending records. 3 boats, 2 failed restaurants, a record label and a designer clothing line, all bankrupted within 4 years. Jessica stepped forward. We can challenge this legally. Feel free, I smiled. My legal team would love to examine the creative accounting you've been using to hide your tax evasion. That silenced them. Here are your options, I continued, distributing folders. Option 1. 3-bedroom apartments in the city, reasonable rent and entry-level positions in subsidiary companies, actual work, not vanity titles. Option 2. Stay here in the renovated East Wing, following strict financial oversight and mandatory financial management training. And if we refuse? Michael challenged. Then you leave with nothing but personal items. Your credit's ruined, your reputations are shattered, and those insider trading investigations you thought you buried? They're still very much alive. Mom sank into a chair. How did we not see this coming? Because you saw what you wanted to see, I answered. A failure. A disappointment. Never wondering why Dad's most loyal clients suddenly disappeared, or where that mysterious new investment firm came from. My phone buzzed. The Forbes photographer had arrived for the interview. You have 1 hour to decide. The press will be here soon to cover Phoenix Global's acquisition of the Sterling properties and the launch of our charitable foundation. Foundation. Mom perked up. I have experience running. This foundation will actually help people, I cut in. No galas, no society photos, just real work making real change. Looking at them now, stripped of their designer armor, their social status, their false superiority, I felt no satisfaction, only a tired relief that justice had finally been served. 1 hour, I reminded them, standing. Choose wisely. When Michael, Dad's antique fountain pen that you inherited? It's in my desk drawer now, where it always belonged. As I left them there, surrounded by the evidence of their failures and the proof of my success, I heard Mom start to cry. But for the first time in 5 years, her tears held no power over me. The mansion would be transformed into something meaningful. A training center, a technology hub, a place where success was measured by impact, not appearance. And my family? They'd learn to live in the real world, where actions have consequences and true worth isn't measured in designer labels. It was time for the Sterlings to earn their name.